And hello again, and welcome to this Charge Chat Bubble Wrap. I'm your host, Scott Zurilla. Glad you are with us. And appropriately enough to join us for the wrap from the bubble, Charge head coach Nate Ranking and forward Levi Randolph. Guys, great to see you again. Thanks for joining me. How you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having us.
No, thank
Fantastic.
you.
Guys, let's get right to it. I've got a handful of questions for you and also a few questions from our Charge Nation members. And this first question is for both of you. But Nate, I'll start with you. We saw the success that the NBA had with the bubble late last year to finish up the regular season. All things considered from your perspective, and I'm sure some of it's good, some of it's not as good. How would you describe the bubble experience for you?
It's been challenging for me, first and foremost, just from outside the perspective of having a new child, et cetera, like that, and being away in the bubble. But overall, anytime, you're back with the team, being able to work with the guys and be with the staff, like it's an amazing opportunity. I've always said it before, like extremely grateful to the organization and Dan Gilbert to allowing us to do this, because multiple teams haven't done this. So extremely grateful to, continue to do this work and have a job. So overall, like I said, it's pure joy for me to be able to work with these guys and be back on the court.
Levi, same question for you. I would imagine similar answer. It's an opportunity for you to play ball, correct?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I'm thankful to be able to be here and be a part of this. Like Coach said, it's a lot of people that, weren't able to play ball and didn't have a team, but it's also been challenging. It's a lot of games in a short amount of time, just trying to develop the chemistry and learn each other. Things have to happen on the fly. But with all that being said, it's still a blessing and a great opportunity to be able to step on the court each day.
Guys, you both used the words challenging, so I'll stay with that as a follow-up. Again, both of you, Levi, I'll start with you this time. What was something that maybe you were concerned about going into the bubble that once you got in realized, I overthought it, it wasn't too big of a deal for you?
I didn't really have too many concerns. I think the hardest thing, the thing I was thinking about the most is just being on lockdown, kind of, the whole process of not being able to, have normal life for the most part. Everything's in the bubble. That was probably my only biggest concern. And then, just everything else I figure would take care of itself.
Nate, how about you? Same question.
Yeah, I guess you know me, a little bit of a foodie. So what I had heard, the concern was about the food at the cafeteria, but overall it's been decent and very good. So outside of that, like I said, I've been in bubble type situations with national teams before for multiple years. So this was no different to me. Challenging again, because you don't have that freedom to go out into normal life, like Levi said, but overall, just to be able to lock in and do your job, like with really no outside distractions, it's been nice.
Nate, did anything maybe catch you by surprise? Again, you've had a little bit of an experience, but not specifically for the Orlando bubble. Anything going in your thought, and you kind of maybe forgot of something to prepare for or be ready for?
No, this was a bit more challenging, just how Levi said, like 15 games in 24 days. So to prep for that and keep these guys healthy after quarantine for almost 2 weeks, you're trying to keep these guys as healthy and coordinate with the medical staff to know how much rest they need, like to build their bodies back up to take on that demand of so many games and so quick. So that was probably the biggest challenge. We faced stuff that people didn't even, no one's going to know. Like we couldn't practice the 2 days before our first game because of some issues with the medical paperwork. So if you miss days, like building chemistry, that's the biggest and biggest thing in this game. And it was hard to do that so quickly, so fast, and with multiple people coming into a different situation than normal.
How about for you, Levi? Same basic question. Anything kind of maybe catch you by surprise or maybe turn you around a little bit that you didn't expect coming in?
No, I really came in with an open mind. I'm a type of guy, I try to take each day as a new day. I try not to have too many expectations It's just each day is going to be different. You have to be flexible. You have to try to just take it as it comes. So that was my whole mindset. So nothing really that I can think of really caught me by surprise. I mean, it's for one, it's the G League, so you always have to be prepared for moving pieces and different variables. So, and then two, it's basketball. It's just that's how the game works. That's how the business is, and it's a lot of different things. You never know what's going to happen, so you just have to be open. So for me, that's how I approached it, and nothing really caught me by surprise.
Nate, for you as a coach, again, I've been lucky enough to travel with you guys here and there over the years, flights and buses and everything. Not having the Civic Center to default on, the arenas on the road that you've been to before, but have you learned anything in the adjustments that you had to make under the circumstances that maybe you can take with you moving forward, that maybe will make things easier for you as a coach in the future, out of the bubble and back in the normal way of doing things?
Oh, that's a great question. At the moment, I couldn't put my finger on it. I know when I reflect after this bubble and you go back into a normal season, I think there's going to think it's like experience. You don't know you have it until, you are faced with a similar situation. So at the moment, that's tough to answer. But I feel like once we get back to normal, we're back on the normal road, back in the Civic Center. There's going to be things that pop up. Hey, remember the bubble? We did this or we did that. And we're going to be able to use this experience. Like I said, no one's ever been through anything like this. And, just being able to overcome these challenges, get through it and grind it out and figure it out. I think once you're in a normal situation, the experiences are going to pop up that are going to make things when they're back normal a bit easier.
Nate, I'll stay with you for this one as well as a follow-up along those same lines. So did you pretty much, as a coaching staff, kind of keep things simple? Did you kind of, I hate the phrase, but I'm going to use it, dumb things down a little bit? Or did you just stay to the basics that you've always done?
We tried to move quicker. And it was a different year because it was different coaching staff in Cleveland. So we tried to do exactly what they were trying to do up there and do it down here too. So there wasn't much different that I would approach the season with. We had, a good week or so of training camp. Like I said, the only challenge for me was I left after day 4, I think it was, and I was gone for plus another quarantine 11 days. So that's not ideal when you're trying to, keep your finger on the pulse of the team and build that chemistry, and you're not able to be there. So, like I said, I've always relied on people like Levi, Dom, veterans that have been with me in the past, and I just use them as an extension of the coaching staff. And my staff also know how we've operated. We've been together for a few years, so very confident that it took over. But that was one of those things that just happened, and impeccable timing.
You mentioned about the trying to still continue to do things the Cavalier way, so to speak. How much of a challenge was it to do that when you're in Florida and they're in Cleveland and you can't make the normal 1-hour drive to go up and kind of keep your finger in that pond, so to speak?
Yeah, phone calls. And I was with the Cavs up until, the day we flew out to go to Orlando. So I was able to see everything they did. And again, you're not going to go to the extent how you said. I wouldn't use the terms dumb it down, but you use their fundamentals and try and establish that here too, in case, somebody gets called up or, somebody gets assigned to us. So we're just trying to build that, that chemistry and the foundation that they do. And it was just in a short amount of time again.
Levi, for you, I know going into the bubble, I explained to a lot of people, and I talked to some folks about, I thought it was an advantage, the fact that the Charge had yourself, Sir Dom, Marquise, and Sheldon back from last year. So the new guys that are coming from all these different places would give you an advantage because you had the foundation, you guys with a foundation in place. Did you find it difficult or how challenging to kind of bring the guys in, like Coach was saying there a moment ago, get them on the same page under the circumstances, what they were?
I think in a normal season, it would have been ideal. But just how quickly things moved here made it difficult. I think it was the same for a lot of teams. it was a whirlwind. I mean, like Coach said, you play 15 games in 20-something days. That's tough, especially only having a week of training camp. I mean, it doesn't. I feel like even if we would have brought the same exact guys from last year, it still may have taken us. If we had the same full team as last year, it still may have taken us a while to get back on the same page. It's just how basketball works, and I think in a normal season that would have been ideal. But just how it was here is difficult. I mean. You're gonna have your ups and downs, and it's a lot of moving pieces, and guys want to perform, and I think for the most part, we handled it well. We dropped some games that we should have won, some close ones, and that could have been the turning point of the bubble for us. It would have had a whole different outcome, but I think it was positive to have the guys back from last year, like Queez, Mac, me, and Dom. We tried to be an extension of Coach. And we just tried to, the biggest thing was just come here and try to win, and we did what we could.
I, of course, was just watching the games from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse as I called them. So you'll have to give me the better answer on this or how accurate I am. But from my viewpoint, it looked like you guys meshed pretty well. I didn't see a lot. There's always going to be games with turnovers and missed shots, et cetera. But for the most part, it really looked as though you guys on the floor gelled pretty well. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I agree. I think with time, this could have been another special team. I think even with last year, it took us a little while before we got rolling. And once we figured it out, we started stringing them together, and we win on top of win on top of win. So, like I said, with the normal season, there's no telling what could have happened. But with the time that we had, we just had to make the most of it and do what we could.
This question is for both you guys, and Nate, I'll start with you. But, going in, there was a lot of talk using the phrase of all hands on deck. And there's a couple of guys I want to mention that a lot of our viewers and fans don't realize how much of an impact that they had. But our director of basketball communications, Sean Wyatt, our head trainer, Kevin Komlowski, and the strength and conditioning coach, Brandon Joyner. Coach, what kind of impact did they have in really kind of keeping everything as best they could do, so that you guys only had to worry about what you had to worry about?
Yeah, those guys are vital to any business we have. Like, they take care of us. Kevin, he's probably by far the hardest working person down here because of, one trainer, 13 guys, and with so many games, like, his schedule has been ridiculous. Sean just organizing everything, making sure we're in the right places, the multiple gyms, the equipment. Brandon taking care. Like I said, to keep these guys healthy, we haven't had many injuries through this, so that's a testament to their work. There haven't been any off-court issues like that Sean's taken care of. So, like I said, those guys are vital to the cog of this machine, and you can't put an emphasis on how important those guys are to the team.
Levi, same question for you, because I know that guys like to be stretched and iced and have a little tweak here or there. And then, having Sean being able to be the guy that organizes everything and you can just follow his lead. How important was it for the players?
Very important. Between BJ, Sean, and Kev, we spent a lot of time with those guys. Everything was happening so fast, so they had to get us ready for the next day. And I think they did a great job. I feel like they didn't sleep. They were up every morning at 7, and they had a full day. We got Sheldon back here, but no, they had a full day every day. I feel like it never stopped for them, and without them, it would have been tough to have the things that we had here and to make it comfortable for us. So I really appreciate the things they did. And I know the team did too.
Guys, last one for me before we get to the questions from our Charge Nation fans. Now, Levi, I'll start with you. The first thing you're going to do when you leave and get home, what will be the first thing you do when you get home?
The first thing I do when I get home is I'm going to eat. My dad's going to have a meal for me. I'm going to call him, let him know what I want. I think I want some ribs. I need some good home cooked ribs. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do when I get off the plane, is go home and eat.
Fantastic. Now, Nate, I'm gonna ask you the same question, but as a husband and a father of 3 children at home, I probably should have your wife answer this question. but I didn't want to call her at home, so I will ask you, what will be the first thing that you will do when you get home?
Yeah, it's probably just gonna pick up my new baby boy. It's been a few weeks since I've seen him, see how big he's grown. And then the next thing will probably be I'll get handed the other two kids, and my wife will be heading out to the front door to take a break. So I'm going to be changing diapers from the moment I step in that front door.
Fantastic. Yeah, maybe we'll get her on next time and we'll see how they turned out, if they turned out like you said they would. All right, guys, let's get to the questions from our Charge Nation members. First from Mitch Reese. Mitch has been with the Charge for a long time. Coach, the question is for you first. Congratulations on the new member to your family. Purely from a perspective as a coach, does it matter if there are fans in the arena or not? Is it easier to coach not having the noise and distraction of the crowd?
Nah, appreciate the question, Mitch, but we would love to have you guys pack the arenas. Anything you say to the referees, to the players, everything, it feels like you got a microphone and you can hear a pin drop. Like they could hear everything you said on the floor. So no, I mean, as a player, as a coach, you want fans in the building. The atmosphere that they bring, it just feeds the energy into the team.
Levi, question from Mitch for you. Thanks for coming back to Canton for another year. As a fan, he likes to see players return. He enjoyed watching you, Dom, and Sheldon and Marquise watch your games improve from last year. He says, obviously, there's opportunities for players to play overseas. What goes into your thought process from year to year in the off season as to where you want to play in the upcoming season?
I think for a lot of us that return, our biggest goal is to make it to the NBA. And, just with the feedback throughout the summer, you really have to weigh your options to see if it's, reasonable or not, if it's actually, a possibility to be able to make that happen. And I think for all four of us, that was, a big possibility to be able to reach our goals and reach our dreams. So that plays a big part in our decision every summer to decide whether we go overseas or stay here and play in the G League and try to, make that dream come true.
All right, Levi, another question for you. This is from Tim Wenzel, a 6-year member of Charge Nation. Tim, thank you for staying with us all those years. Levi, do you stay in your hotel room when you're not playing a game or practicing? And if so, are your meals delivered to you?
For the first week, we had to stay in our hotel room. The meals were delivered. But after that, once games and practice started, we were able to go out and they had a cafeteria set up for us. So we were able to go and get food. We have like a common area where you can go sit, get some sunlight, go to the pool. So I did spend a lot of time outside of my room, trying to get some fresh air, but also spent a lot of time watching Netflix and Hulu and things like that.
Coach, I'm going to skip this question for you because you pretty much answered it in the last one. So Levi, I'll go to you. This is from Dakota Kirby. Dakota asks, do you guys miss the fans as much as we miss you? And Dakota says, be honest. Levi?
I miss the fans 100%. There's nothing like having a arena, with fans in there yelling and screaming and cheering you on and booing the other team. So we 100% miss the fans.
All right. Final question is for both of you. It's from Kathy and Ed Menser, 3-year members of Charge Nation. Nate, let's start with you. What are 3 things that you like about being a part of a team sport?
The locker room. And being able to be a part of a team, the camaraderie, first and foremost, the relationship you build with, your staff and then your players, that's a huge part of it. Even after the season, if you can build a relationship that you continue after, you work together, that's huge for me. Probably just the competitiveness of the competition. I'm a competitor at heart. I love to go up against whatever sport it is and you compete and you try and win. And like I said, I mean, I'll repeat it again. It's just working with these guys, like trying to help these guys achieve their dreams. I did it. I mean, I went farther than I ever imagined as a player. And there's something inside me that really wants to see these guys get to their dreams. And it's a journey. And through the G League, it's a grind. And just to see these guys put up that fight night in and night out, come back, like Levi, people like that, Dom, even guys in the past, just to watch where their journeys have taken them and the success they've reached. It's really fulfilling for me just to see that happen for these guys.
Levi, same question for you.
I like the challenge of for the team sport is taking so many different pieces and talents and players from all over the place and putting them together and making it as one unit. I like that challenge of, developing a team and chemistry and seeing the results of it. I think that would be one. I think another is just the relationships, like Coach said. When you're on the team with people from all over, you learn new things and you meet new people and you end up having friends for life. A lot of those friends, they end up becoming your brothers. And then I think the third is just, I guess those are two biggest for me. I don't even know what I would pick for the third. It's just the relationships and then just building that chemistry with guys and just being on a team and having a good time and seeing what happens. The journey would be the third. Oh, I know what the third would be. Now that I'm an older guy on the team, the third thing would be just passing on knowledge to the younger guys, trying to give them a head start of things that I've seen or I've learned over the years and just trying to be vocal and be a voice and trying to stay positive and teaching them and just letting them know little gems that, maybe I didn't know at a young age, or maybe I didn't listen to when somebody older told me I was stubborn. So just trying to pass that on in a positive way and see where it takes everybody.
Very good. Good answer. Hey, Kathy and Ed Menser, congratulations. You are a winner of a Isaac Okoro autographed pennant. So hang tight and someone from the Charge front office will reach out to you and let you know how you are able to get that. Well, guys, I know you got to run. And I'm looking at your backgrounds in your rooms and I'm thinking, boy, they've got to really be tired of looking at those paintings and the windows and everything. Thank you for the time. Great catching up with you. Wrap up the season with the win tomorrow against the Nets. Have a safe trip home and thanks for your time and congratulations on everything you guys accomplished this year down in the bubble. Thanks for wrapping it up with us.
All right. Thank you.